everyone, welcome to Braw Cast. I'm Billy Kirkwood. Again, here we are on Monday nights. This show's going to be a little different because this show isn't live, but we've got ourselves an amazing special guest. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out everything going on over at brawbeardoils.com. You can check out the latest merchandise, latest oils, and all the information that's over there, as well as check out the Facebook because we're going to be uploading loads and loads of videos, and on the Spotify and the YouTube, we're going to put out some archive episodes. Right, this one is a little different. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to our guest in just a second. The way it works is, normally we would get questions from you guys, but this time I've got a big load of questions, so we're going to get about it. So would you please welcome our special guest? He's waiting right there. Please get up for Kev Grigg. Ladies and gentlemen, evening, Craig. How are you?
Not bad, man. Not bad. How are yourself?
I'm good. First of all, I understand, we just had a wee chat before it. Kev, this is your first ever podcast, is that right?
First ever podcast, aye. Podcast virgin here.
It's just the start. It's just the start. It's going to be cracking. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty, how is it you are aware of Braw Beard? Because it is from a unique perspective. Because you train with John, is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And
been with John for a couple of years now. Met him back a few years ago, but just after he broke his back when he became a member at the Key Fitness Club in Musselburgh.
Right.
And I was a fitness instructor there, and we got along. He used to do classes with me, etc. When I started up on my own, he found out about me having my studio just up the road for him.
Right.
So he came up and joined me, and it's been fun since then.
All right, well, we can get bit more about that in a second, because I'm a wee nosy over on your Facebook, which you can check out at Kev Grigg Fitness. I believe that's the right one, isn't it? You can check out Facebook because you've got your own little studio there, which is pretty bloody cool, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
So we'll get in about that in just a second. But what was the background? Are you from that neck of the woods up by Musselburgh, Hillsborough type of way? Where's it you're from originally?
So I'm from right inside Musselburgh, a wee outskirts town called the Wimpeys.
Right.
So it's a bit of a rough area in Musselburgh, or it used to be a rough area. It's quite nice now.
Quite nice. And was it in school that you had an interest in sort of fitness and sports? What was it you were into?
When I was in school, I didn't care. I went to the gym, but I didn't care about like working in it at all. I didn't think about what I wanted to be was a sound producer. Funnily enough.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I've actually got a HNC in sound production, so I'd done that when I left school, and then things obviously never worked out there.
You never know.
And then just went into fitness from there, really.
Okay, so what do you think caused that transition? Because that's a hell of a left turn to suddenly take.
Yeah, might be something to do with being bullied as a kid, or my dad passing away, sort of thing. Kind of got me going into it a bit more.
So still thinking about a little self-care and others.
Yeah, that's it. Like getting bullied, you learn you've got to be strong. So that's where I started doing the weights as a kid, and that's all it was about when I was in school, was just keeping me strong enough to keep the guys away, sort of thing. And then obviously as I got older, things started to happen, and health became a bigger thing in my life again.
That's a hell of a story. I can certainly identify with that at school. So let's talk about for a second. How did the training sort of begin for you? So you went, I'm enjoying this, I want to take this to the next level. Well, how did it come about for you?
Well, so when I was 14, my dad bought me my first set of weights, and Men's Health magazine.
Okay, fair enough.
Went from there. Every month I would read Men's Health magazine. I would do all the daft wee workouts that were in it. I'll say daft, they're actually quite good workouts, but got a good size of my arms and that. But then I was a drummer and a heavy drinker. That went out the way for a wee bit, and then my mum told me that I should get back into something that's going to keep me healthy again. So I was like, all right, well, reduce the drinking, start the gym again, fell in love with getting strong and just being able to do stuff that I wasn't able to do before. So got asked a couple of years ago, about 6 years ago, to do a obstacle race.
Right.
And I hadn't done an obstacle race before, and I hadn't actually done any running before.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, let's give this a shot. So when before it, I had just done strength training.
Yeah.
And then obviously when this came about, I decided just to do it. I didn't want to go running. I didn't like running at the time. So just gave it a shot. Yeah. Just ran along with the folk, and I managed to actually do it faster than half the folk there. And I was just doing strength training. So yeah, that's where my love came from it. And then when I learned that I was actually getting good at it, I wanted to help others get better, and I want to help others feel better about themselves, really.
So in the midst of all that, there was something very cool where you briefly mentioned drumming, and I was just thinking, oh my God, there's so much. So there's a drumming music side of it, but it sounds like as challenges kind of started coming in, it sounds like that was where you really started to thrive, because you wanted the challenge of, becoming a wee bit stronger, doing things you couldn't do. And the idea that, I mean, if anyone's watching this that has never ran, it's horrid. Like I always had to do it for rugby training, and I'm terrible at it now. But if you've never ran, and you'll know this more than anyone, if you've never actually in your life, and it is unbelievable the amount of people that have never ran, have never jogged properly, it is such a shock to the system.
Oh yeah, this is just the breathing alone. Like when the first 5-10 minutes, you're breathing out your arse quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then it's just try to push through that initial stage, that initial 5 minutes, and then you can pretty much keep going as long as you get a good pace that you're comfortable with.
Terrible running. Absolutely the worst. And I'm one of those guys that gives it the all. I'm too heavy to run. Kind of. I know that. I know that. That's it. I know it's shite. So you've done the challenges, and you're thinking, now it's time. I want to take this to another level, and I want to start helping people. Now, you mentioned that quite early on. Was that an important factor to you? Was that like a challenge because you really helping people educate themselves with their fitness, or was it just about giving people body positivity and giving them positivity in the gym? Because one of the things that we hear a lot about, particularly with people coming out of lockdown and going into the gym, it can be an intimidating place.
Sometimes the gym can be really intimidating if you don't have a friendly face there. My main thing is to try and get people who have been intimidated by the gym just to go out and learn on their own, sort of like learn from me to do it on their own.
Right.
So instead of having to go into a gym, ask a trainer at a big busy gym what to do in front of all these hundreds of other people that are there, I try to invite people into my private studio, and in that private space, it helps to open people up a bit more, and it helps to make them relax a little bit more. And I feel that that's the best thing to get anyone into fitness, is to make them more relaxed about that slow entry. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure if that made sense or not.
No, it does. So it's about giving them almost the tools and the confidence that they can do it themselves. So when they're working out with you, you're sort of giving them fine pointers and helping them develop.
That's it, yeah.
They're able to go and do that work. And that's awesome.
They can then leave and go and do it on their own for the rest of their life. Well, that's my aim anyway. It's all about being able to be fit for life, fit and strong for life.
So we went from doing the run, the challenges, and you went, all right, okay, I want to take this to the next step. What was the first step in sort of making this a career for you? Where did you go from those challenges to start making the steps to make it a career?
So I started making it a career when, what age was I? I've been in it for 7 years, so it must have been 21, 22. Yeah, I applied to college at 21 and I didn't get in first time.
Right.
So I kept on going to my local gym, which is the Key in Musselburgh.
Right.
And just speaking to everyone there. And actually, one of the instructors there at the time had been to the college that I was going to and knew the tutors and stuff who were actually getting you in.
Okay.
So we spoke to them for over a year whilst I was waiting to apply again. Applied again and asked him to give me a little letter of encouragement, sort of thing.
Right. So a reference, almost.
A reference to the tutors. And I went from there, and tutors did not like me at first. Still think they don't like me. But I managed to get what I needed to be able to help everyone that I want to help.
Fantastic. So from college, where do we go from there? Oh, sorry. College, where do we go from there? Do we go back to getting a job in a regular gym to sort of get...
So from college, I ended up back in the Key Fitness Club.
Right.
I'd done my placement there.
Uh-huh.
Got to know the members there quite a bit. Became friends with 99% of the members there. Started working there, and just built it from there. Really, like we had a great team, and we were all like really good friends, and we pushed each other. And it was the competitive side that kept me going, like being competitive with them, but not in a malicious way. But they're learning this, so I want to learn this and get a bit more sort of thing.
Yeah, you kind of feed off each other. It's like you say, you like those challenges and seeing people develop. Do you think, and this is just asking it, right? Do you think a good relationship with a trainer, particularly even in one of the bigger gyms, is that the difference between like a good gym and a bad gym? Because there's some gyms that can be cold and sterile. Hey, some people like that. They like to put their headphones on and hit the treadmill, and that's it. They want to disappear. But do you think it's a big difference between having trainers that are motivated and are willing to help you and are invested in you?
Definitely, 100%. If you go into a gym and you've got a person behind the desk who's just swiping you in and saying off you go, and then you go into the gym and there's just got the radio on in the background and no one's having any conversation, or there's no community feel. It feels cold, and you don't enjoy it, and you don't give it as much as you want to give, and you end up leaving feeling a wee bit, or my opinion, you end up leaving feeling actually lower than when you went in sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you've got a trainer, or you've got a team of people there who are wanting to help you, they're teaching you how to do. Take the deadlift, for example. It's one of my favorite exercises. If you go in and you've got someone who's able to see what's wrong with your form and not judge you on it, but they actually come over and they help you to improve it, then you leave that area feeling so much better about yourself and about your future training, because you know that you're going to be doing something better the next time that you go in.
Yeah, and that feeds on to the person you're training as well, doesn't
it? Yeah. And then when you've got that community, you get to feed someone else with that knowledge that you've just gained. Yeah. So if you see someone else in there's no trainer around, you can go up and speak to them.
Yeah.
If they're willing, obviously, to take that advice. But definitely a community feel is 100% the best thing for a gym.
And what do you prefer? As we said, would it be working with a bigger team, or do you prefer the one-on-one aspect of it?
I kind of like both, really. I mean, I do a multitude of things. So I do online training, I do group training face-to-face, and I also do one-to-one face-to-face training.
Right.
So okay. I like doing it all, really. I like just being able to help as much people as I can.
Yeah, you've got to be really diverse, especially now as well.
Terms of these different things. You've got to adapt, especially in these times.
So you've worked at the Key, and you're thinking, I want to take this to another step. I want to go up that a little bit more. And you mentioned it a little bit with online classes and the one-to-one. You want to open your own studio, right? Which sounds like a huge step. What was the real motivations for you behind that?
Real motivation was I've just always wanted my own space. I don't like people telling me what to do.
Okay.
I've always had problems with authority, so to speak. So working for people, and I've been told from a very young age that working for people is not my strong point. So if I think something should be done this way, but I get told to do it that way, right, and I'm always going to go this way. Okay. And that gets me into trouble with certain people if they don't like it. So by opening my own studio, there's no one telling me what to do other than my clients. They want it something done. Yeah. I teach them how to do it, and that's what I like. I don't like a manager being, go do this, go do that, go do this.
Yeah. Do you think the distraction of taking that away, I mean, is that a big positive for you because it gives you focus? Because you're saying, like all these other things have got to be done, but you can do them in your own time and you can work them around your will. So it takes away a distraction element of it. So all you need to worry about is training your clients.
Yeah, that's it. I don't need to worry about having to go help clean the poolside when I need to get my client's program sent over. I can just finish tidying up the studio when everything's done. I clean as I go, bleach the floors, bleach all the equipment now, obviously with Corona around. And when I get home, I just get to relax at my computer with a coffee, finish the programs for the day.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm happy.
So one of the things we're going to certainly talk about is now you're in that new studio, and you mentioned working with people one-to-one and about their limitations, because one of the big things that certainly could be argued, and again, if there's anyone watching, I'm not having a go at the bigger gyms, but about the one-on-one thing is you guys really can map out a longer plan. And one of the big things with trainers is, and I've heard it said with various different sports, and is patience. Because obviously some people will have limitations, physical limitations, because we're not all built, we're not all the $6 million man and ready to go. We've got adaptability. Do you like being able to spend the time working around those limitations and helping them adapt?
I do, yeah. I like to be able to get people to understand that things don't happen in a day.
Yeah.
They're not going. No one's going to come up into my studio and leave thinking that they can lose 10 pounds in a week and be healthy. Like it can be done, but you're not going to have fun doing it. You're not going to feel good doing it, and it's just not. It's not the best way to go about anything. If you want to feel good from the gym, you need to do things slowly, and you need to understand that it's trust in a process.
Yeah,
and yeah, so that's what I love to educate my clients on, is that it's going to be done slower, but you're actually going to get better results and be able to keep them for longer.
Yeah.
You can lose a ton of weight in, let's say, in a month. You can lose a ton of weight in a month, and then the next month you might have that weight back on plus some, because you've just gone back to your normal living.
Yeah.
So it's all about learning how to lose the weight or how to get into shape the way you want. I just always go for weight loss, but it's easier to speak about, really. So it's easy to teach, to lose it slowly and get those habits built into you, so that when you are on your own, or when you don't want to do personal training anymore, you can keep it going for the rest of your life. Like I said, it's all about being fit and strong for life with me. And like, I don't want to be 80 years old or have my clients be 80 years old and not be able to sit down on the toilet or go walk with the kids or something like that, or grandkids, obviously.
Well, from Ayrshire, so anything's possible. So for you, it's about them, and even that attitude. It means that if someone moves away from personal training, they're doing it on their own, and they still see these continuing results, they're going to go, "That was great what Kev showed me." I'm either going to go back and get more, or I tell a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend.
That's what. Yeah, I want people to speak about me to help more people. It's basically what it's all about, really. Yeah, helping everyone else.
All right, so you've had to be quite adaptable during this time. I think it'd be fair to say. Well, now, thankfully, the gyms are opened up, and as we were speaking just before we came on, hopefully that continues. I see no reason why that wouldn't be the case. But then again, I'm not in charge of the country. Unless they want to give me a shot, I'll have a go. But the gyms are open. You've had to be quite adaptable during that period. You mentioned you had to doing online courses.
Yeah.
How's that been? Has that been online classes or just one-to-one consultant?
Again, been doing both.
Right.
Both online classes and face-to-face. The classes have been quite fun. Difficult in a small living room to do some of the work, but it's been really fun, and I think my members have been enjoying it and been getting the benefit of it. Especially during the actual lockdown, that was quite hard for everybody. So I've done my best to keep everyone a bit cheery and feel good. Again, just feel good about themselves during a hard time.
Yeah, you've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's all about that positivity. And it's, what did he say? A big percentage of it is up there as well. So, We can certainly all agree on that. And now you mentioned John. Of course, we knew that John had a bad car accident a long time ago. I use him as an example because a lot of members of the Brawtherhood that are going to be watching this come all different shapes and sizes. Some people have injuries, some people long term. Some of them have never set foot in a gym before. And while we've had yoga trainers on before, you're the first PT we've ever had the opportunity to get a word with. So someone that's got injuries and is learning to sort of get back into the gym, or someone that is maybe they've never picked up a weight in their life, what would be advice that you'd give to them at this period? They're maybe thinking about getting in the gym. We're not out and about doing as much as we should do, but maybe we're looking to get fit and healthy. What advice could you give?
I would say start off slowly. I mean, if you've never done anything before, so you've never been in a gym or you've never actually done exercise other than going to walk or something before, start slow and build it up. One thing that I always try to teach everyone is you're going to build and then learn to endure. So by that I mean you've got to build up your fitness and then learn to endure it for longer. So again, let's take the deadlift for example. You can start off with 20 or 15, 20 kilos or lighter doing the deadlift. So a deadlift is picking a bar up off the floor and putting it back down. And that's essentially what that is. So you can start off with a 20. You're going to learn to endure with that 20 because you're strong enough to use that. So you start 20 kilos, go to 8 kilos 1 week. The next week you might go up to 9 kilos. The next week you might go up to 10. And then you put on some weight and you start back down to 8 again. So you go up to 25 kilos, go 8, 10, 12 sort of thing. It's just all about starting slow. And again, it's the turtle beating the hare, really. Tortoise beating the hare. Start slow and you're going to win. Don't rush or push too hard at the beginning.
Because I've been in and out of gyms now for well over a decade. The number of people that, like you say, will just rush in there. Right, I'm going to lift the biggest. I'm a big guy. Look at me. I'm ready to go. I'll go for the biggest weight. I'll go for the heaviest weight. And the number of injuries that you see people, and that just means they're not going to go back. They injure themselves, and then they just never manage to get that back.
That's it. They get a bit scared, and then they end up not wanting to go in, or they feel embarrassed that they've done something. So, I've had a few injuries. I mean, I'm that person, or I was that person, I should say, that would go into the gym at first and then just put on as much weight as they can on the bench press. And then end up buggering the shoulders. And now I've actually got a dodgy shoulder.
Oh, no.
It's better. I mean, it's much better than it's been for a while. But yeah, I ended up hurting the shoulder on the bench press, funnily enough. the man exercise.
But that's why you're there, obviously, as well, to teach people technique. Because even something as I hate using the phrase simple as lifting weights, because it's not. The amount of technique, you mentioned the deadlift there. The number of people that easily throw out backs or throw out hips, or even pull a quad or a hamstring. The number of people that can do that is shocking. The number of people that will do that in a day. Or
people who go to do that exercise should not be anywhere near that exercise.
Right, yeah, definitely. So, what is the best way? And we'll wrap this up. We had so many amazing questions that loads of people sending for the Brawtherhood for you, and I think basically we managed to cover them all. So, what's the plans for the future then? So, you've got the studio, you're doing the online stuff. Is that where we're aiming right now, or do you have any other plans?
So, obviously, right now it's a bit difficult to plan for anything other than the next again day. But exactly. What my aims are is I'm actually wanting to turn the studio into a gym. So I want to just build the studio again. It's build it and get it bigger and bigger. I want to invite more people to actually train out of my space. So get some good trainers in, not people who just want to make money, but I want people who care to come in and help everyone out. And one thing I would really like to do is actually start up fitness competitions.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so like every 3 months, every quarter, just do a different competition and then just build a community around it, I mean, it's like I said at the beginning, it's all about having that community feel to help each other get better. And I feel that friendly competitions, nothing ridiculous, but a friendly competition to work towards is a great way to help you stay on track and stay focused.
So almost some of the camaraderie community you might see in, let's say, some CrossFit gyms.
Similar to that.
Yeah, but obviously, much. Well, I say some. I have to say some CrossFit gyms because I know they're like that. But you want trainers that have got a similar mindset to you. They're invested in the people coming in. They're invested in helping people, and I think that always rubs off on folk. I think that always, because it's a two-way street, isn't it? I mean, you want to have a certain attitude, and you want the trainers and the other trainees, if you would,
to have the same. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't want to. I would hate to have a trainer work for me or work in my studio and then give a half-assed session every session.
Yeah,
you want them to be able to put everything into the session so that their client gives everything back.
Yeah,
and you want your members, or I want my members to feel that they are better after every session. And that it is. It's just the camaraderie is what's going to get them there.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to get like a 1 minute tip off you. So if someone is watching this, they do nothing. Right, I'm only saying that because they do nothing. What is your one fitness tip that someone could do today that would just make that tiny little bit of difference?
So if someone does nothing, they're sitting about most of the time, and obviously that's pretty much what everyone is stuck doing just now, stuck at a desk or sitting in an office or something. So get up and walk or stand for 5 minutes. Just that. 5 minutes an hour. You're going to burn. So when you're sitting down, you burn between 40 and 50 calories, depending on your size. You can burn 40 and 50 calories an hour. If you stand up, you can double that.
All right.
Just standing up, moving your arms. Don't need to be doing jump jacks or squats or anything like that. Just stand up and walk back and forth, or take a walk outside for 5 minutes. You're going to make a massive difference to yourself. And that 5 minutes is 5 minutes of freedom, where you're actually getting away from a desk, you're getting away from a screen, and you get to just be you for that 5 minutes again. And it's going to help. It's going to help with the mind. It's going to help with your body and your fitness.
That's amazing. Just that wee bit. That's going to make such a difference. Well, awesome. Maybe the best thing we need to ask right now is, where can people get in touch with you? Because, like you say, you're doing stuff online, so it's not just in that neck of the woods. It could be anywhere at all. Where's the best place for people to get in touch with you?
So, best place is Facebook. So just look Kev Grigg Fitness on Facebook. Look for my little red guy here doing the flexing.
Hang on, I think we've got him there as well. There we go.
That's it. Look for him, and then just shoot me a message. Easy as that.
There you go. It's easy. All right, Kev. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop you in the green room just a second, and I'll wrap things up. Everyone, our very special guest, make sure to check out his Kev Grigg Pizza. All right, there we go. Right, that's all we've got time for on this episode of Braw Cast. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, make sure to check out Kev. It's Kev Grigg Fitness. Make sure to check that out. He's on Facebook, and head over, say hi to us at Braw Cast. Right, we're going to be back with a new episode very, very soon. I've been Billy Kirkwood, and I don't know why I feel like I need to say my name at the end of it. That's weird. Now's the bit to see whether or not I can look at the closing video or not. I'm going to try not to. Damn it!